is Los Angeles, California, a city whose population explosion has caused numerous unsolvable problems: smog, overcrowded freeways, and a shocking increase in sex crimes, to name only a few. Newspapers in Los Angeles, California, the Sunset Strip is peaceful this Sunday morning, the aftermath of a terrifying night. Once this glittering street that winds through 2.5 miles of America's most expensive real estate was a meeting place of movie stars, politicians, and business tycoons. World-famous restaurants and nightclubs such as Ciro's, the Crescendo, and the Plymouth House were crammed with tourists and natives who hoped to catch a glimpse of Gary Cooper, Marilyn Monroe, or even Clark Gable. These names, these places, are now gone. They have been replaced by the long-haired, the unwashed, the rebellious. This building was once the Los Angeles Conservatory of Music. It is now the Whisky A Go Go. This used to be an exclusive night spot called the Golden Violin, where diners were serenaded by soft violins. It has now been changed by the same owner into the Galaxy, an 18 and over Watusi Palace. The Sunset Strip is filled with names like The Door, Iron Butterfly, Loving Spoonful, and Smokestack Lightning. Here, our camera pauses on this. Soon, however, they began to get restless. The 10 o'clock curfew was approaching. Los Angeles Police Department began to enforce the curfew, picking up the most obvious offenders. In protest, the marchers began, and the attention they received from newsmen and bystanders spurred them on. Soon the police department gave up trying to enforce the curfew. The crowds were getting too big. Orders went out to avoid, at any cost, aggressive action. Before the night was out, they would learn how great that cost would be. A rally began, and the scattered clusters merged to a central meeting place in front of Pandora's Box, a teenage nightclub. Protesters over the 10 o'clock curfew, Vietnam, the racial issue, fanned the flames of the already excited listeners. The mob became more and more agitated. Traffic began to slow down on the Strip as people began to clog the street. Finally, it stopped altogether. Then, it happened. The first shove, the first fist thrown. It would matter little for the next 5 hours who was responsible. As a last resort, the mayor asked the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department to aid the police in quelling the riot. They moved in quickly, using tear gas and billy clubs to push back and break up the mob. 155 members of the Los Angeles PD were used. In addition, 79 sheriff's deputies were called in to help. Cost of the operation to the Los Angeles taxpayers, $257,000. Damage and personal property destroyed, $1,338,000. More than 8% of those arrested were under 21. 3/4 of those were less than 16. Parents protested vigorously about alleged police brutality. Most of these stated that their children were innocent bystanders and should not have been arrested. Some parents bitterly denied that their children were even there. even after the police had awakened them in the middle of the night to notify them that their children were in police custody. 5 hours later, official statements were issued. The riot was now, finally, under control. There would be no more problems of this nature on the Sunset Strip. Things would be different. But tonight, except for the absence of violence, nothing has changed.